Almost playing for that retake, though, and he does have a kit for the job if needs be. Smoke out onto SDY. He's going to have to bide his time and just wait, but there are now reinforcements wrapping around from the mid and CT side respectively. Nietzsche gets his kill, can fall back now, and ooh, that's a rough push in from MPL. Finds himself 3 players to contend with. They've denied the bomb plant, and they've shut everybody down. ENCE off with a bang. I would maybe slightly go in favor of Bait here in terms of just player for player firepower purely, but what they don't have is the experience of SDY, of Glaive in particular. The rest of the troops are a little bit more rookies. Essential, though, is hearing footsteps coming towards him, and it's a 1-4 trade. That's an AK traded up as well, but information on top of it for ENCE. And they can now dial back and wait for the push to come in from Bait.
Very fluid start here from ENCE, which I'm liking on that A side of the map. Now the short play will come in. Glaive pushed into the apartments, but he goes down with nothing as that B anchor. That's going to be really difficult now for ENCE to try and get back into this B bomb site.
Low NPL. Do you have a smoke, though, to throw down? Multiple angles to deal with. Catwalk's been pushed. 2 players now in market. There is the smoke in play, and there's another one where that came from. This will be a tough retake on the side of ENCE. Additionally, they've only got the 1 kit, no HEs or incendiaries, and out they spill into the open. Kenzaizo gets 1, but that's all he's going to muster up. And Hetrick now trying to use that smoke as a bit of a reprieve. Not much time left on the fuse. It's ticking away ever so quickly. Hetrick just needs to survive, needs to thrive. But in comes MPL from above, and that is the round done. Bait may have lost the first 2, but they have arrived.
Smoke in that backside of Connector. But there's still this boost for Poddy. Not anymore. Drops off and decides to smoke instead. And oh, the spam! It's so good from Netu! 2 through the smoke, and Exkapersky gets 1 of his own. This is just smoke kills from ENCE.
That's brutal, isn't it? Like, Beta feeling pretty comfortable in this round, feeling pretty good, and then suddenly, nope, shut down in the back through the smoke. And that's going to do a world of good to alleviate the pressure economically that was building up on ENCE. Bait have to pretty much just save. All the chips being planted down. The side of matchup, the winner of this will play against the Astralis for a place at the Austin Major. Nitu in the meanwhile, though, using that smoke in the firebox, hearing a ton of bullets whizzing past his head, and Kenzaizo, straight after the tech issues, is going to come through and deliver the opening frags. Pressure firmly on ENCE, and they cannot withstand Kenzaizo. He had 1 kill coming into this round, now up to 4, and Glaive, not with many options available. A 1-on-4 retake may just set up for a couple of exit frags. He doesn't even have a kit here, Hawker. I mean, his chances of clutching this round practically 0. He's going to get peeked into, comes out second best, and Essential will put the final nail in the coffin. Bait back into winning ways.
I think this will be an interesting head-to-head as well. I'd say they have somewhat similar styles for me. I wouldn't say they're crazy aggressive with the AWP, but they will look for picks. They will look to get on angles early. See Hetrick there with that spawn looking for it. In the meantime, let's come over to A to help this A aggression, but Netu dealt with as well. It's Essential again with kills. And oh man, ENCE just getting owned in this round.
2 just pure clean kills from Essential. They basically just peeked into him 1 by 1. No flash, nothing preceding that push, and ENCE being punished in the worst possible way. Poddy going to get boosted up onto the box, but there's a smoke there to greet him, so no chance of denying the bomb plant anyway. And this probably just will be a save. The money is not in any position to go for it.
It was interesting to see how teams approach this sort of round. How aggressively do you want to play with the AWP and the rifle? Poddy is going to peek into underpass. In the meantime, another smoke spam to get ENCE into a round. I'll be hoping that they can have a similar result to the previous round they got that smoke kill. Oh, and Glaive. Playing attack there. Decides he has to just drop back.
The smoke also planted down just to stop the rush from coming through. Unfortunately, though, they have lost Kaspersky, so that's one of the 2 primary weapons that's now been hit back on the dirt. Can retrieve that as Netu gets it now under his control. Issue is, though, that Bait are making moves over on the B site. That smoke's going to clear momentarily. And once it does, 2 players hungry to have a quick look and a quick peek. ENCE going for the stack. Probably the idea is to stack the site. If they push you, you potentially win the round. If not, you just go for the save. Onto the open M4. Good shot from Body. Essential already showing us that his AK aim is on point. As Poddy goes back in for more, padding those stats with a second frag. Smoke is up. The bomb, though, has been spilled out into the open, should be mentioned here. So with that smoke being blown open, there was a chance, and if the kill came through, the bomb goes back down again. Out of nowhere, ENCE now have a chance. Well, screw that. It's not a chance. It's a great opportunity for them. And they've got those weapons still in play. AK comes down, but SDY gets ahead of Poddy. Not playing together, tossing in the HE. Enough time for MPL to get that bomb planted down. He's not sure about Poddy's positioning. He's now switched to the AK-47. Making moves. Time of the essence here. Yes, the bomb has just been planted, but keep in mind that Poddy does not have access to a kit. And with no kit in position, in play, he has to be proactive. Has to get in the face of MPL right now. Pushing around the back of Market. He's going to have him dead to rights any second. Gets the kill, has enough time, and ENCE snatch this round away with 2 primary weapons coming into it.
Wow, MPL just doesn't realize Poddy can be there so soon. He doesn't realize Poddy has already crossed to the site. But it will be Poddy's turn to take this angle. And it could be the bomb spotted soon. Headtrick's actually the furthest player forward right now on the ramp. He's dropped down, but it's Alex who takes the first contact. Poddy able to deal with him, but look at MPL sneaking in behind. They have no clue. It might not matter though. They're still getting kills elsewhere, but Poddy committed to a dangerous angle. Now these side players could be in trouble. Headtrick with 2, and Essential with a great flick of his own. That's going to have to change. Here comes Glaive. He's stuck with this AWP because he has the Kevlar. Actually, Poddy has Kevlar too, but it's Glaive who does very nicely on the back of that smoke. A good shot from him.
Now, lack of utility in kits could still be a problem on the side of ENCE, but that's assuming that Bait can brute force their way on the site. 2 players, forward positioning. Essential once again getting an entry that is so vitally important. Ramp and Tetris. Poddy with the USP kills Alex, but Essential again, another entry, add a 3rd into the mix. May have just done enough to save Bait's round here with that post plant coming through. Sumdai Young does have the A1S, Kaspersky with that deagle. But this is really where the lack of nades and the lack of kit comes full circle and becomes a real problem. Both players also on Bait are healthy in separate angles of attack. Firebox and CT respectively. And as ENCE start to shimmy their way through, they've been spotted. SDY's barrel definitely got caught around the corner. And now they can both focus onto the site. And they successfully stabilize. It was looking pretty dire. A 3v5. But Essential once again standing tall. 14 frags to his name.
ENCE now back on a buy. SDY actually with an auto shotty in this round. That's over on B, but that might not be important because the A exec is coming in immediately.
It's you with a HE that could do some significant damage. It lands right into ramp. Down the throat of 3 players. Kenzai's also tagged up from a second HE. They've softened up the targets. And now it's a case of finishing them off. There is a flank round the back as well from Glaive. It's all about posting up as much damage as possible from CT boxes. And Natsu will oblige with 1. Great shot from Headtrick though. The plant successfully put to the dirt. And now Glaive's rotation. Oh, this could be it. This could be the ace up the sleeve. They know he was last spotted on Firebox. Hunting his prey, spots him. He's looking for that second player beforehand. Maybe he hasn't seen him. Surely he just snatched a life away. No one's dealing with this Firebox player. And now he pops up and shows his hand. I thought Glaive had seen him. They can't get the defuse. Oh, it's a total catastrophe for ENCE.
Oh, Essential's just stabbing in the smoke. Now he knows he's won the round. That is ridiculous. Glaive, get your glasses out, son.
That's a really strange one. Either way, they've got to put that to the back of their minds. It did look like it, yeah. I thought he was looking across to try and find the second player before he took the shot. Poddy somehow survives, dodging bullets in the smoke, but eventually Headtrick goes back and checks. And I understand why you want to play aggressively like that with such a rough fight, but I mean, surely you have a second player there to help you out, to at least like draw away fire or crossfire it in. That feels like Poddy's got a bit too overzealous and has been punished in the worst possible way. Good frag from Glaive, though, and you can trade up to the AK-47. At least keeps the odds even in this round.
sounded like a nice shot from Kenzai. An immediate headshot. Matthew tries to move out into the open just as Headtrick finds him, and we've been saying how solid Headtrick can be with the rifle. We've seen it throughout this half. 12 and 5 himself. Can't quite catch a Senthiel. That's just because the Senthiel's been so good. And ENCE, I mean, they've got to try this retake, but their chances are slim. Oh, hello.
That's just increased the odds, but I think he's been put back down to 0. Nice shot from SDY. Does have a kit. Time though is low. Upgrading to the AK. Intelligently and diligently, Senthiel backs out. Doesn't want to give his life across. Molotov out. Oh, it's so rough. It's so brutal. Alex is going to pick up his first frag in the half at the end. It is an important one, though. But it means that Bates will be leading 8-4.
That means that ENCE have got a hell of a lot to do here. Smoke out towards B early, and it is that man, Senthiel, on the B site alongside Kenzai. And wow, that's a shot mid-air from Kenzai. Senthiel here to help. They might just try and survive at this point because they know the rotate is arriving, and ENCE are finding no forward progress onto this B site. It has been bombarded by CTs. Poddy has no chance, surely.
Yeah, it was raining men over on the B app side. Fortunately, Kenzai had his umbrella out and just splattered them, impaled them on that umbrella. Poddy, though, he is alive, but not for much longer. Headtrick from the A side, wrapping into Connector, shuts him down in the back of the head.
Meanwhile, Bait have actually stuck with 3 MP9s here, so it would be a decent opportunity for ENCE, but as soon as I say that, trick on the angle. At least Netu's able to get one back. That player's now trapped on the right side of Ram. But Headtrick decides not to keep him locked in. It's a little too dangerous being out in the open. This mid move is working for ENCE. They've got mid control. I'm not sure these MP9s will want much to do with mid, but maybe the boost of a Senthiel will. Oh.
Saw him. Oh, he most definitely saw that. Molotov's going to go down. Incendiary is forcing them out into the open, so with him spotting that play, they're going to be very cognizant of a window peak push coming into play here. Oh, okay, that's a problem, though. That is an issue. Headtrick now in a bit of an awkward spot, has to commit pushing onto the site, and Kaspersky will have no mercy.
You either try and commit to the site and get multiple kills and try and get into a different angle, or you just sit back, and at that point, you kind of feel like you might be conceding the round. As long as ENCE have a little utility to cut you off.
We'll pick up the pace, perhaps. Young had a really good spawn for this one. Preemptively tries to extinguish the Molotov, and he gets the hit and run he was looking for. Perfectly played based off the spawn positioning. And now that they've got the pick, he just falls back. And they can settle this one down, knowing that the impetus is on Bait, maybe to try and make a play. They have given up B control entirely. No way of ENCE knowing this as they replenish the window smoke. They are more interested on going into con. No smoke, no. Oh, but it's backfired. Young showing some of that form that we saw against Fnatic. It could be a concerning sign. Kaspersky finally sprays down onto a Senthiel, but MPL is going to return the favor. 8, they'll have to contend in a 2-on-4.
SDY will play on the back of it, but I think soon Bait might start to realize the safe call is required unless they can get something very soon. But I think even with that kill from MPL, they're so far removed from this B side of the map. And that's more of the sorts of rounds that I was saying I want to see from ENCE. A willingness for a player to make a sort of heads-up play. So this time, Bait just want to make sure they don't give away any early fights. They're going to make ENCE work for this one into the later round. Kaspersky got into position previously. This time he gets into his own smoke, and Headtrick hears it. Gets him in the midst of the window. And they get an all-important advantage, which is extended upon. And now it's MPL in connector. ENCE gets squashed on mid. And there's nothing to be done. It's Bait about to get 11.
Nightiu moving through on the T side. Enough funds to buy into the next one. No economy as well for the CTs, not great, so it is definitely worthwhile just seeing what you can get done from this point. Oh, full flash from Natsu onto Kenzaizo, and MPL's gone down as well. They're just feeding him frags, and he nearly picks up a third.
It's had a rough game right now, only on 1 kill. That's why I was scared when they kept swinging there to you as well. Alex was still alive with just the 1 frag. He can start to get scared, but look at this again. Connector is the early focus, but Kaspersky can't find anything there, and there wasn't really the follow-up to trade him. MPL gets away with an advantage, but again, this A side of the map, they're able to sneak out onto. Headtrick able to get 1 back. MPL may just allow this player to cross now that they have the man advantage.
Oh, double though from SDY, so impactful, integral to keeping ENCE in this map. Essential, force back from with a Molotov. Can do little but just wait it out. Flash is there to greet him afterwards. A HE, everything being tossed in his direction, but for the most part he shook it off. Not too considerable in terms of the damage that's been dealt to him. It's more the 3 players that stand all being healthy, and him having to traverse back onto the site with no incendiary, no smoke, no HE to try and burst open. He's waited long enough that they may think that he's rotated through on the CT in towards the window, but Glaive is sat there watching. So they're not falling for this. They're sticking around on the site, and this round is going to come to a close. The flashbang is good, and SDY will clean up.
And again, the lack of AWP for bait will be a little frustrating. Rifles should be okay for them. Big damage through the smoke. ENCE have been so good at that throughout this map. MPL pushes off the back, decides to give it up for now. In the meantime, look at ENCE, their quick response over to the B site.
And Zaizo is going to lay down the law though, and these are such impactful moments in the game. Glaive, the touchdown onto Kenzaizo's position was compromised. They don't know that Headtrick is in this angle, and they are going to lock it down between 3. Alex, Headtrick, and Essential all pulling their weight. And although Kaspersky's position's not known, he doesn't have control of the bomb. It's in a horrible spot. The struggle is real. But credit to Bait, they've been really under pressure. Really struggling. And stagnating on this CT side. But finally they put their lead to use. And Kaspersky, try as he may to blow down this defense. It's him that is sent packing and reeling out of the round by the hands of NPL. And 3 map points fall in favor of Bait.
No opener yet, though. In the meantime, Natsu in this smoke. Looks like he wants to get cheeky, and Headtrick. Oh, he was asleep at the wheel. The trade's out onto A, looking good for ENCE.
Sides are pushing into the smoke, though I don't think Glaive has any idea about this, and he should lose his life as a result of it. So at least they can maintain a little bit of mid-control, but it's a rough spray from Essential. Put down by the MAC-10. Player advantage falls back underway events, but they're not sure about the current positioning of MPL. But he can't do anything to stop this plant. He has no backup. Kenzaizo's been Molotov'd off, so MPL is pretty much playing for the long haul, the big picture. Waiting for that Molotov to clear. Kenzaizo can try and take point, try and run a bit of interference, so then MPL can show his hand from the CT side. There is a kit though, but it is in the hands of Kenzaizo, so if he were to fall prey, and that gets spilled down around jungle, it makes MPL's life that much harder. And he knows it. So he's going to have to save the AK, and ENCE have saved the first of 3 map points. And NPL, salt in the wounds, will not transition into the next round with the AK alongside him.
How do you connect events?
Real pressure cook around this one, isn't it? Glaive, meanwhile, though, he's getting peppered from multiple angles. And Kenzaizo will lay him down. And yes, they did get into connector, but they've lost the catwalk control. Fortunately, a smoke put down into the ground, but Headtrick, alongside the balcony player of Alex, are able to lock it in. And Poddy, unless he can pick up this ridiculous prospect of a 1v4, overtime is not going to be on the cards. It's going to be map 1 going the way of Bait. And Hedrick, laser-eyed, down on ramp, may have missed his shot, but so has Poddy. And now his position is known. To make matters worse, he is being flanked. Even if he can get a pick or two, somehow, some way, you might as well cue the Jaws music because he is about to get devoured. They're stalking their prey. And Poddy valiantly just holds the line. They've actually stopped that rotation. They want to make sure they don't give any opportunity for him to wrap around with 35 seconds onto the B site. I respect it from Bait. And although it was labored, although it was a little bit dodgy in moments, they have secured Mirage. Here we go. ENCE playing for their tournament lives, whereas Bait playing for an opportunity to face off against Astralis. And ENCE on the CT side getting up close already. 9-2. Oh, they nearly lined up for him, but Poddy gets 2. And now Sumdai Young has been baited in. They had no idea about this triple setup, and he will punish them. ENCE off to a quick-fire 1-0 lead. Push connector a lot, try and get middle control a bunch of times as well, so he is a very confident player when it comes to Anubis. Like, clearly he is feeling this map a great deal lately. Oh, first spray, that was good. Glaive gets it. And although a lot of damage to Kaspersky and Glaive, they both back away onto the B side safely.
There was a brief moment where I thought Alex might have that same chance here, but smoked off, and now look at how dynamic ENCE are playing with these weak weapons in the mix in this third round. They're going aggressive out through A, and they spotted that it's completely clear.
Glaive, he just dips into the smoke. He's like, peace, boys. Houdini's himself into connector. I don't think they have any idea about this. I'm not sure if they heard him. But they are watching Con now, which has been smoked. And it may not be a case they know about Glaive. It's just anticipating a rotation through on the canals. And although Glaive has got himself the frag, plant is down. However, it falls upon Alex. Important for his own individual confidence that he starts to kick off this round with some kills. There's a second. The spray is good through the smoke, but it's unconfirmed. He doesn't realize just how much he peppered SDY. But it doesn't end up mattering a great deal. Even without the kit, they get the full defuse down. And although there's a minute on the clock and plenty of time, it's, I think, going to be a bit concerning for Bait that they don't have that much map control. Like, other than being in A main. But the CTs can still burst back out there. SDY. Oh, double spray from him and Yetu. There was nearly a third kill. Unanswered. Oh, it just gets harder and harder for every passing second here for Bait to get any kind of foot into this map. Even in positions where you expect them to get an even trade back. It's so one-sided. Every duel goes the way of ENCE, and it's another clean round. No casualties. SDY, yet to die. Glaive, yet to die.
You this time dumping early utility because he hasn't really got assistance right now, but he's got to be careful. They're up close and oh, they haven't cleared him. No headshot for Netu though, so only the one kill, and that A site is now open.
Poddy hoping for a glimmer of pixels to expunge, but instead Glaive getting aggressive, leading the charge for his teammates. Maybe a little bit off timing though, because no one could really follow him in. I think he was just trying to cause some chaos and havoc and catch Bait as they try and transition out that post plant into their positions for crossfires, but instead he just gives himself away for free. Loads of cash for ENCE. But they realize it's still fairly early in the half. We're getting to that midway point. So they don't want to be throwing away weapons, especially when they have an AK. Kaspersky's a little bit more expendable, and he's got the kit as well. He's going to try and draw this one out, smoke down onto the site. Not like this, Bait, but they do come back in, and Hedrick denies that from being a possibility. All the players going down with the ship apart from Essential, so economically damage is inflicted. But Bait... Yeah, exactly. Kaspersky's just jiggle peeking with the smoke. He's going to throw that down the second he sees anything, or he can hear grenades coming in. There it is. Oh, and couldn't even get the first pick on top of it. Now, because his magazine's depleted, they may feel compelled to push in, but there is second and third players up here. The contingent looking good on ENCE. As Glaive called into action, a weakened Essential finished off. And now Alex walking over the corpses of his teammates. Try and remedy this round, but it is going the same way. Bait may have struck once, but it is a one and done. No player over 3, and that's Alex. And now Glaive. There's going to be a bit of a shooting gallery if he wide swings this one. The flash is a little bit off. That one's better with a Molotov, and Glaive comes in for 2. And a third on top of it, runs out of ammo and HP. But he'll be feeling pretty good about how things sit right now. MPL gives him a bit of a shock to the system, but that is short-lived as Poddy moves up to 11 kills. And I think we're really seeing why the two of us were painting a picture, a narrative in that first map of how important it was.
It just feels like Bait are constantly on the back foot, having to hold on to what they can, and again, the aggression goes against them.
I think ENCE is making a real case for this being their best map, you know. Like, I've seen a fair few of their games. I think they're obviously a pretty good team when it comes to Ancient. This Anubis is looking rock solid. Lots of damage as well, like Headtrick, Essential. Barely seeing an enemy already spammed down to below 50 HP. Headtrick finished off. Alex is going to try and keep this round alive. Molly down on the plat, but it's going to be a flash up and over from SDY. Kaspersky has been dealt with, though. SDY in the process switches across, but he's also going to be found and put down. This is looking much better for Bait. Finally something to get excited about this T side. Maybe this is what will ignite the T half. The Natsu's still alive, not for much longer. And Bait have doubled up their rounds.
Pretty damn aggressive. You can basically guarantee they're going to go for some sort of info play fairly early in the round. So maybe Headtrick's Orb can counter that.
That's a good point. Oh, and it will. Why swing in? Poddy will be disappointed. The way he's been playing right now, he did have a second or so to react to that. Rapid fire from Headtrick, though. Take nothing away from him. And maybe Bait have a sting in their tail yet coming through. If they can get this to a 7-5, who knows what can happen. And they're slowly sneaking their way onto the site as Natsu will find out firsthand. 3 kills unanswered. Starting to see what we know that Bait are capable of. And although Glaive has shut down the flawless round of Bait, he's not going to be able to do much about the 2v4 when the post plant in. So it will be a save. Their vast amounts of cash is now been brought back down to reality. Accountant humbled.
And it means that Bait can just find those gaps that are now opening up because of that clean opening pick. Comes the aggression. Molly, ENCE in trouble. He's in the flames. He just about gets away with it, though.
I think it's safe to say this aggression is starting to get a bit telegraphed now. I mean, you called it, right? Like, you can almost guarantee they're going to go for an info play. They're going to go for an aggressive play and try and push and probe and make you uncomfortable. And Bait have slowed things down. They're now watching these bottleneck areas, the A main, the B main, the middle pushes. And Kaspersky is about to get taken out. MPL's like, come on, bro. You were watching the angle, but hey, at least Alex did avenge and didn't whiff out on that spray. That would have been terrible if he died too.
Lovely bit of camera work showing that orb of Poddy. In the meantime, SDY makes his move forward, as does Glaive. 2 Bait players caught off guard. Now they have to go into this orb, and Poddy hits the mark. It's only ENCE remaining, and in a matter of seconds, the round turns in favor of ENCE. They've spotted this final player. He's going to try and sneak up on towards a different angle. York might feel uncomfortable, but SDY is so close by, and SDY swings at just the right time.
In the meanwhile, though, they have to try and put that to the back of their mind. It looks like all 5 players are about to execute onto the A side. 2 players pushing in. Flashbang's going to proceed to peek, but the Itio turns around just in the right moment. 2 kills and a ton of damage that Poddy will exploit. As he vanquishes away the invaders. May die to NPL, and there is a smoke down on cams. So there's a way forward for Bait here. This round may not be done just yet. It allows them the luxury of pushing onto the site and getting the plant in, but they're deciding against that because once that plant starts to get dialed in, it effectively becomes a 1v3. Now it's a lot more manageable. SDY gets aggressive into the crosshair of MPL, and Bait will return the favor. A 2-kill advantage for ENCE with a very weakened third player. But let's not get ahead of ourselves because that man, Kaspersky, is still alive against Headtrick, who's had a rough first map. Just 3 kills to his name.
He's even gone for the fake plant just to make 100% sure because he knows Kaspersky's either stuck around or completely rotated. And now he can play this post plant from wherever he wants.
One potential problem, though, is Kaspersky has a HE, a smoke, and a flash. And if he clears these close angles and feels that A main is where Headtrick currently is, even if he has his trusty AWP, he's very likely going to get smoked out here and a HE behind it if required. And on low HP, that could be the deal breaker. Kaspersky's taking a long time, though. Flashbang tossed in. Full defuse comes in. It's going to be a one hit. You have to bring him off, but he's come off the side. Does he even have time to do this? He panics. Oh, and he's lost the round off the back of it. Bait will take the last round of the half, but Kaspersky, he could have had it. Like, Poddy has, what, 14 kills? And he was bottom of the ADR charts for his team.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Glaive is at the top once again. In these big moments, he has big performances. Essential thinks better of it. He's heard so many footsteps as well. And now they're going to have to lock this one down, or maybe not. Poddy delivers the fatal damage onto Essential, forcing back the CTs, and to add insult to injury through the smoke, Kaspersky takes down one. Trades back, though, from Bait. They are unrelenting. They're not giving this one up. But Glaive has control over the bomb. And there's still so much time. They can just rush to the A site. And the HU's already pulled himself ahead of the rest of the pack, and he's going to go in there, clear this one out. They're starting to realize it on Bait, and they're making moves back around, but Nietzsche's already going to be up in heaven as this plant comes through. And they have a flashbang as well if they want to utilize it. No kit for Bait. And first in is Alex as Glaive lands a beautiful one tap. He may have been low, but still instantaneous decapitation. Headtrick's been spotted. Two separate angles to deal with. And now Glaive can start to play the time. Bomb planted perfectly for him. This headshot needs to come through quickly. It needs to be instant. Goes back onto the site once more. Glaive playing the time perfectly. Baiting out with a jiggle peaks, but the headshot does come through. And Headtrick should have just about enough time on the clock. Huge moment for Bait.
It looks so good for ENCE. Headtrick just has time. So close. But Glaive was trying to play the clock, trying to play the bomb, and yet Headtrick lands some absolute stunners in on that retake. Not knowing where that first player is exactly and still getting that reaction shot. Very impressive. And I thought that was the moment from Glaive that would settle it. But look at how Headtrick's able to find the one-on-ones. He was hoping he could just get the info and tuck back in. He did not expect Headtrick to swing so wide and be so quick with his kill. ENCE will force it. Quick move, but SDY shut down.
Oh, Poddy with a scout, though. Beacon Kenzosaurus finalize the timing on the smoke, and the HU wins out against Essential. From 0 to 0. From a monumental performance onto Mirage, onto just the 4 kills, and he'll be bitterly disappointed he didn't win out on that trade because he knows this map is hanging by the balance. This would be a broken economy. This would be ENCE stampeding towards 10 rounds already on Anubis. They have to win this. And Alex at range. The adverse of Essential had a rough first map, but is one of their best players here on Anubis. And is keeping A main as a threat. Kaspersky, though, has the angle and the spray to back it up. And so it's looking good that ENCE may very well take this round and instantly push Bait away from any kind of economy being built up here. Oh, that's so tough. It's such a bitter pill to swallow, Hawker. Like, you finally feel like you're getting yourself back into this.
We may get a repeat round, though. ENCE leaning towards A early.
There's only one player here. So Alex with an MP9 has to basically face the world. And that is too tall and too heavy a task for him to lift. That Molotov, a little bit awkward from the A2, but it does kind of throw Bait into an awkward spot if they're up in heaven, not anticipating that push. Doesn't really come to fruition, though. And you are in a position again here, Hawker, where if you Bait, you're like, do we go for this? Do we save? They don't have a kit. They will have a buy into the next one, though. But it is looking like it will be a slaughter. Bait unlikely to save too many players. Headtrick will be trying to hold on to this A1S. It is the only real premium weapon. There's MPL on that FAMAS, but oh man, ENCE are just running away with this right now, and I think you're spot on. I think this round was pretty much the last chance for Bait. Yes, they're going to have rifles into the next one, but it's a 6-round lead. And ENCE looks so in their zone, in flow state on this T side.
for Bait now, it is mission impossible to come back. No! Oh, no! No, man.
Oh, it's mission impossible, and they choose not to accept it, their Hawker. Etric's like, just get me to Ancient, boys. He just nails his IG on the back of the head.
There's got to be like a comedy movie that's like Mission Impossible, but like a parody version where they're just slipping over each other. Like, that's maybe what we're watching. Okay. Well, at least he's on point. Oh, hello, jumping MP9. Maybe we got ahead of ourselves. Maybe Bait is still fine.
Body is low as well, so I mean, this is very winnable now, especially as they just got another 2. So perhaps Hetrick was just sacrificing MPL to the CS gods, and they have answered. If he can shut down Kenzai in the back, there is maybe a plant that can come into play, and then maybe he can do something truly amazing. But Kenzai is going to have the shutdown on him. The timing works against Poddy, understandably. I like the call, but what can they get done with it? It's all well and good getting into this position, but what's the execution going to be looking like? Typically, for Anubis, on the side of ENCE, it's been incredibly good. The Kenzai slight angle to try and exploit, and he will with a Senthiel. It's pretty clean, but now ENCE bounce back. 10 seconds on the clock. Denying the bomb plant may be good enough, and MPL is going to do just that for a few more seconds, but Glaive bodyguarding it for his teammate. Bomb's now been planted, Poddy amongst the smoke, misses the flick, and will be punished with his life. Bait fighting, still surviving with 7.
The rest of the team not alongside him, though. They're focused on mid right now. So SDY might just try and poke and prod that B side of the map, while the rest of ENCE take mid.
Oh, Kalat! 2 for the price of 1, and he's just gone back in. He's greedy. And this time, it's good. Bait instantly into a 5v2. ENCE, hot off the back of a tech timeout, are really struggling. SDY, thought for a second he was going to get wide swung, but it is an even trade back and forth, and that leaves Natew on 10 kills with the bomb in a familiar position to where Poddy was just a few rounds prior. Way more time on the clock, but there's 2 players already here, and fast rotations allowed as soon as he gives his position away. Now Senthiel, oh, he somehow survives that one. I think the shot just grazed the stone wall before it hit him in the head. Regardless, Bait have an 8th. Oh, that was such a good play from Hetrick, but they did kind of line up for him as well, just walking out of middle, totally punished.
Yeah, it's like if you're still in that doorway, game where they were looking so confident, so assured, they need to still have that mindset. It's harder when it's 11-9, and there's the aggression out from Alex and MPL. The flashes are fantastic, but Kenzai also pushes elsewhere. They had the man advantage. It is quickly lost, and Ascenthio will have no chance in a trade. That player tucks back in. So it's even numbers, and that might make Bait feel uncomfortable, because look how spread on the map they are. Ascenthio has 2 angles to watch, but he watches the right one. Kaspersky pushes before his teammate can help him.
This is so much time. As far as Glaive is concerned, someone could have come through middle into cams onto the A site. This is all going to take more time when you start to clear out the site. But getting the kill by pressing up aggressively from Glaive is huge. It's a really good decision. It alleviates that pressure, allows him to go back onto cams again, but he is sprayed down, and Naitio has a decision to make. Does he still go A, or does he go back to B again? 25 seconds on the clock. Both players pretty low. It is still a winnable round. But as far as Naitio is concerned, there is 1 and potentially 2 players on the B site, and Ascenthiel's about to get back into Temple. 10 seconds. He's not going to have the opportunity here to fake the bomb too many times, but the Molotov will buy him up a little bit of time. Ascenthiel, what are you doing? You don't have enough health to pull that off. Oh my god, he may have just thrown this round, thrown this map. That is a wild decision.
To concede map point over to ENCE. The comeback was looking so strong. Now they might be about to bow out here. The MAC-10 finds the drive-by alongside the AK, and Ascenthiel goes down as well. This might be it, Vince.
Miguel's going to try He's going to try and get a bit of sanity back on the server, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're just ultra tilted at this stage. Potty shuts down head trick after dropping in the back. And now Alex has to channel something special, something heroic if he's going to pull this one off. Knows where two of the players are now, but it's not going to be good enough. And ENCE will take the map. It was such a strange end to a close back and forth affair, but to a third map of Ancient, we will move. Fair. That's fair. Yeah, we saw some cracks developing, I think it's safe to say. Even on Mirage, which did still go in their favor. Kaspersky, one of the players that we highlighted, having a rough performance last time. He's going to be able to get two this time around to kick things off. A good trade, but eventually falls prey to Essential, who will want to make amends for what happened on the previous map, and he's done just that. I suppose there's two ways of looking at it. You can get tilted, you can get inwards, you can get a bit sad and emo about things, or you can use it as fuel to fire. You can get angry, annoyed, pissed off. And that seems to be the way it's going, but ENCE, they bounce back with authority. Kenzaizo gets nailed by Sumdai Young, and it doesn't matter how Essential feels, because ENCE dial in the first round regardless.
They might have some weaknesses they think they can exploit from their opponents. And drop boost across from ENCE. We did see this prior, and Poddy spots that man at mid. Spray through for one. And decides that that's good enough. He doesn't need to peek too aggressively, especially not with that molly in his face.
Perfect start to the round, ENCE.
Ooh.
Oh, he's actually pushed up. Head trick. He's getting a lot of intel. He's getting a lot of forward positioning right now. Real estate in favor of Bait, but they still need to contend with Glaive up close. He's got one, and he's headshotted the second player. And considering the player advantage still in favor of ENCE, they are not able to deny the bomb plant. The Kasperskys put it into a 1-2 with Essential on 28 HP. Stay away from the Molotov, please. Not needed. It has faded away. Two flashes. He knows where one of the players are currently residing, and that's in cave. The second is stuck behind a smoke, and that's Nitu. Now he's going to start to push through. The smoke's done its job, though. It really has stalled this push in. Essential, so low. Had to be proactive. Had to go for the wide swing. And that will allow ENCE the luxury of a 3-0 start. But a little bit close, though, considering that they did lose the first player in the round.
And delayed long enough to allow Kaspersky to sneak onto the site as well. Once Kaspersky takes down that player who just planted the bomb, the final man low, makes it much easier for ENCE. So well managed with the SMGs, and now Glaive getting forward, but maybe not expecting so much weaponry here from Bait. The Tech 9 takes him down. Molly in, Nechu only able to get one. This looks like a round that Bait can now compete for.
Goes open the smoke, but he was looking at the right side, not the left, which is where the T's scampered off up on Donut. There are kits, 3 of them. 3 smokes and 3 flashes. Low players on Bait. And I think Netu would have called and relayed that at least a couple players here have been tagged. So there's every reason for ENCE to at least try and half go for this. If they get a kill back onto the site, they can wrap around from Donut on middle. Kaspersky, though, is a little bit too slow. Needed to move earlier because Sumdai Young is trying his best, but there's just not enough time. Oh, ENCE will concede a round that really should have never been getting close. The Bait, better late than never, arrive on Ancient.
Now we get this quick crunch on mid. These Donut players need to be careful. It looked like that player was blinded. And MPL has got the first headshot. Now SDY also follows. Kaspersky gets one back, but that might be too little too late here. They've left the bomb behind, though, as they go towards A.
Oh, Potty. That's unfortunate. I was not expecting the close left angle from Kenzaizo's perspective. And although the bomb, as you rightly point out, is dropped back at T's spawn, there's tons of time, and with this advantage, realistically, ENCE try and get aggressive. Kaspersky, a nice attempt, but NPL is there to make sure that that kill is not for nothing. They've spotted, down to 7. Having a struggle. We've seen a couple of moments from SDY as well. Like, he is on 4 frags, and don't get me wrong, he's had a decent series.
We've got SDY holding this angle from Donut. Can be a little tricky sometimes, but he's got Nechu here to help him. Player softened up. SDY with a big spray, and the bomb dropped. And now Bait have to really struggle to get back into this round.
Good spray from Glaive. I think the A2 also saw that all 3 players, so it allowed SDY to continue his spray with the A1S. MPL caught in a pretty bad spot, but the smoke allows him to isolate and dissect Glaive. I can back away to try and save the AK. I mean, the round is done, regardless. That's not going to change anything, but he will be able to save onto the AK-47.
And Nechi's pretty alone.
Yeah, hence him backing off. I actually like this decision from A2. He knows if he stands out in the open, he can so easily get dealt with. This way, he can stall it a little bit longer. Oh, the Tech 9 dink around the corner. That's filthy. Disgusting. It plays hell with Netu now. He might have wanted to peek out and see if he can get a kill or two through the smoke, as it's so often been the case, but instead, it's going to be Glaive that goes through the smoke of his own, blows it open with the HE, but he goes down for only the 1 kill in return. A weakened purchase by Bait. Looks like it could secure their 4th round, and already ENCE starting to back away on low HP.
Yeah, and it looks like they are just giving up on this. Kaspersky looking for kills, but might be better off just focusing on your own economy. Saving 3 guns could be very important for ENCE here. Nice shot from Poddy. That's a very favorable fight. Surprise here. The second player sticking around, but MPL, he is hungry for these kills. He's got 1. He's to hit this, and he doesn't. MPL may fall with the bomb, but he knows he has done great work because now it's only 1 gun saved. Looks like it will be a pretty similar setup to start the round. This time, Bait not contesting mid as heavily. Instead, it could be a quick burst onto B.
Oh, instead it's a quick aggressive play from Glaive, but a flash lands dead in his face. Spray corrected by Poddy. The head trick comes steaming back in for 1. Trades favoring ENCE for a few moments, but now that's been spun on its head, and there's more than enough time for Kenzaizo to get the bomb plant down. 100 versus 75. Next bullet may seal the deal if it is from Kenzaizo, though, because AK-47 is an advantage in this spot. However, there is a smoke and a flash for Kenzaizo. A smoke as well for Sum Da Young. He could smoke the site and go for the full defuse. However, the bomb is planted for the wallbang spot, but he's using it as a bit of a reprieve. Oh, Kenzaizo assumes it's a fake, but it isn't. And he loses the round off the back of it, having faith in his position, but it backfires.
Yeah, trying to just call his opponent out, call the bluff, saying, I'm sure you're going to fake this. But I do think with where it was planted, SDY was just hopeful, and I think he maybe did have just a little more cover from that wallbang than you usually expect. These were the trades from Poddy initially, very well done by him.
Good news is, though, it is unconfirmed and no player died. A free pick at that stage would have been horrendous. Nietzsche in the meanwhile, though, gets the drop onto Kenzaizo, and I'm sure his heart fluttered for a split second when he didn't get the kill instantly. And Senthio evens the odds. This is where the weakened health bars on ENCE could prove to be the determining factor. Nice replenished smoke onto ramp, though, keeps them at arm's reach. Managed to stave off the onslaught for the time being. Once that smoke clears, there's not going to be a huge amount of time left on the clock, so Bait may feel compelled to start pushing, especially as Natsu is the snake in the grass, and he's coiled up, ready to strike in. Spots 2 players, all 3 line up for him, and he's nailed all 3 of them. Beautiful play from Natsu, and pretty much single-handedly takes this round for ENCE. It should be a 6-6 scoreline come the second half. And although Essential has had another good T-side, there's so many angles for him to cover with only 18 seconds on the clock. And Poddy says no. But take a bow, Netu. That is an exquisite round.
Underway into ENCE's T-side. They are leaning towards B. And there's a decent stack here for Bait.
Kenzaizo with those Julies. Goes back in, but he's missed his first opportunity. And now Alex is going to have to try and pick up the slack, and he'll do just that. Keeping himself alive at the back of the site is so integral. And as they try to retreat, Headtrick is able to connect the headshot, spills the bomb back onto the deck, and Glaive on 10 HP is praying, hoping for a miracle. That lightning itself will strike down onto his adversaries. Couple players low enough that will be finished off by it, but Headtrick will seal up the second pistol.
Just under a minute left for ENCE. They haven't made too many inroads on a bomb site, but they've taken mid control. They'll leave SDY there on the lurk. They still need this cave control, but Essential is so low. Just one shot to the body will do the trick. It's not found though. Essential with a double dink, and there was no trade set up for Glaive there. So sure, Essential's trapped, but they're taking their time, their sweet time. Finally, they get the kill, but it allows Headtrick in position. It doesn't matter though, Kaspersky was holding for it.
He's low though, 4 HP. Not much time left. Really important kill from NPL. If Alex can get a kill out of this one, it's huge. The flash is perfect though. It is timed to perfection. Pops in the eyes of Alex. And although there's a TK, they had to snatch the kill because time itself is running dry. Depleting. Good kill in from Kenzai Zor, but Poddy continues to have an impressive, stellar map.
Looks like another slow approach from ENCE. But look at the re-aggression from Bait on mid. They were thinking about going further. There would have been two different angles to deal with. Instead, the timing's good for MPL and Headtrick. The lineup there on the rifles. Finally, Kaspersky gets one back, but surely it's too little too late here. A 2v4 to recover. Oh!
5-7 at that range. Insta headshot, and Alex will clean up the rest.
ENCE really need this here. 3 rounds down. If they lose, their money will be awkward, and they've lost the early fight. Poddy in the smoke. This is chaos, but it's Poddy with one. Out of ammo, and in the meantime, MPL cleaning up on mid. This could be the moment. MPL with a triple kill. And just like that, ENCE's gun round that they saved for is gone.
Netu is full HP and does have the bomb. Still tons of time, but he's being flanked. Headtrick is making moves behind him. He's a goner. Whether it be Headtrick or MPL, the end result is the same. And it feels as if ENCE now have a 1 foot out of this qualification match. Smoke has come through. Molotov's there to greet it. Yeah, that's a really good Molotov. It's going to stall them, stymie them, and Headtrick surgically removes them with an AK. It's clinical. Crisp and clean. Headtrick on for the ace. It gets denied, but he will not care. 5 match points. 5 elimination points for ENCE.
Bait looking so ready for what ENCE tried to throw at them on that A side. This is so nice from Headtrick. Gets into a more advanced angle than ENCE were ever expecting. That AK wreaking havoc on the A side of the map.
If Kaspersky concussed through the wall. And also, he would have heard that dink. So it is intel on top of it. Flashbang through. Kenzai Zor's not too bothered about it, but can't quite adjust the aim. But they line up for each other. And Headtrick, caught off the back of a 4K, is now dipped back in the bag to pick out 2. Kaspersky, he goes down without a fight. Essential has put the one giant step towards winning this match. Netu and Glaive have it all to do. And they're slow on the approach here, Hawker, but there is only Headtrick here to greet them. I say only Headtrick. He's been a man possessed these last 2 rounds.
It's good awareness from Headtrick. Get that info and immediately fall back. Don't give away the fight, but now he goes down. Glaive gets one. Netu with one of his own. But look how low they are. The rotate is here, but Alex can't find it. Essential has it all to do, but they're pushing Donut. They're moving in towards him. Essential holds for the first. And now Netu needs this, but it's Essential to hold on and secure victory for Bait.